Chin Tuck Boxing, baby.
Make sure you like and subscribe.
Yep, you know what time it is, man. This is, of course, your favorite channel, man, CTB. It's Chantel Boxing. I'm your boy, Jay Slay. Yet again, here to wreck your chin with his boxing news, man. Yo, my bad. I've been living on the rock the last couple days, man. I have not put out any content for about a week now. I apologize to you guys, man. You know, life hits you. You got to make some money, pay some bills, do your thing for your family. But then you get back to your hobbies when you get the free time, man. And this right now is a hobby until we get you guys to subscribe to our channel, man. Once we get you guys to subscribe to our channel, you know what I'm saying, I can start putting more time, effort, and resources into this channel. And of course, we only gonna get better and better. But now, since it's been a while since I've been talking to you guys, man, I kind of want to break down the Keith Thurman saga a little bit, mixed in with the new news that we got from Terrence Crawford yesterday. You know, Terrence Crawford has come out and pretty much put all the rumors to bed. He kind of came out and put the whole rumor of he was trying to weight drain Errol Spence again at 147. You know, a lot of Errol Spence fans, a lot of Terrence Crawford haters, a lot of up and coming channels, a lot of people who don't mind if it's real or fake news that they putting out, was running with that narrative, saying that Terrence Crawford was just trying to weight drain Errol Spence again so he can get an easy win. One person said that he was trying to outprice himself. He was pricing himself out of the rematch, and he wanted more money for the rematch. Knowing all that shit, ladies and gentlemen, every parameter is already in the contract. The rematch clause that Errol Spence has activated was part of that same contract. I don't see Terrence Crawford deviating from that contract. And like I said, he kind of put to rest all the rumors when it comes to that weight. He came out and said verbatim, I know you heard the clip. I played the clip right here.
I'm back in training.
Are you thinking about doing it at the 154-pound weight class, or are you going to stick to the rematch at 47, which is where it should be because that's where it happened?
Well, the contract states that either one or the other got to notify, you know, in writing that he no longer can make the weight. If not, then the fight will be at 47. So the contract states that it have to go at 47 since neither I or Errol notified each other stating that we can make the weight.
As you heard, he said verbatim that either him or Errol Spence will have to put in writing that they cannot make the weight, that they can no longer make 147 to actual, you know, pretty much try to get their fight at 154. And until Errol Spence does so, their contract states that they have a rematch at 147. So in other words, it's not his doing. It's not him trying to weight drain Errol Spence. It's in the contract that the rematch was supposed to be at 147 anyway, unless either himself or Errol Spence write a letter in writing stating that they can no longer make that weight. Now, is there stipulations to them writing that letter? Like, is the fight still a go if they write that letter saying they can no longer make that weight? I'm not gonna put no fake news out here. I have no idea. Only people who have that knowledge is, of course, the people who are privy to the contracts. I don't claim to be privy to the contracts. The beautiful thing about boxing is if you don't follow the bullshit and you just kind of wait, you're gonna usually get the answer, just like you do everything in life. So there you go. All we gotta do is wait and see how it goes. If Errol Spence put it in writing that he can no longer make 154, and then they go into some new negotiations for the next fight, then we know that was not in the contract. But if we write saying he can't make the weight, or Terrence Crawford writes saying he can't make the weight, and it just pretty much go into a fight in December, then we know it was no hiccups. It was nothing to worry about. And all this shit you've been talking about the last couple days, or last couple weeks actually, was us all bullshit. But let's get to the other bullshit, man, that I was really itching to get on. I was so ready to get it on this topic, man, but I was so swamped with work and swamped with, you know, father duties and all that. Shout out to the black fathers out here, man. The real black fathers. You know who you are. Salute to you guys, man. But yeah, me and my fatherly duties, do my fatherly role. You know what I'm saying? It took a lot of my time this past week. So I had something recorded, but I didn't like what I said. I wanted to get more in detail with what I said, and I wanted to put a little bit of effort into the edit. So that is why, you know, I decided to wait. But now that it's here and I got the free time to do it real quick, I'm about to go in on Keith Thurman, yo. So grab a seat, pull up a chair, grab your popcorn, and listen to how I'm about to go on Keith Thurman real quick. First off, I done seen a lot of people's videos on the same topic about him not fighting a real champion. Keith Thurman saying that Terrence Crawford has not fought a real champion. This man has been undisputed in 2 weight classes, and he was also a champion at 135. That alone is crazy to me for him to say that he didn't beat a real champion. That's crazy to me. Let's talk about it though. He stated that, let's start with Sean Porter. He stated that Sean Porter had 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Even though Sean Porter himself has came out and said himself that he did not have 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
In the interview and said that Terrence Crawford's fighting a lesser Sean Porter after Sean Porter fought Errol Spence Jr. I didn't agree with that.
He didn't put that shit to bed himself, out of his own mouth. The fighter himself said that. Yes, he did say he was going to retire whether he won or lost. That doesn't mean he wasn't going to try to win the fucking fight. That's number one. Number two, you saying that he had a good fight with him, but then at the same time shitting on the fight, it's asinine in my opinion. It's asinine. Keith Thurman is being Keith Thurman. Errol Spence. Now let's talk about Errol Spence. That is by far the most dumbest comment I heard from a professional fighter when it comes to that fight, the Terrence Crawford Errol Spence. For him to say that version of Errol Spence wouldn't have even beat Sean Porter, you know, to be honest with you, he barely beat Sean Porter when he wasn't that version of Errol Spence. Let's be honest. The knockdown saved him in that fight. So you really not even saying Sean Porter can beat Errol Spence. That's not even saying much, to be honest, because that was a great ass fight. It was an all-time classic fight. You know what I'm saying? It was a split decision. You know what I'm saying? So you not even saying much with that statement. That's number one. Number two, you went tooth and nail with Sean Porter too. Let's be honest. Sean Porter gave both Errol Spence and Keith Thurman a harder fight than he gave Terrence Crawford. Do you want to say because he's older? I would give you that. But I'm not giving the excuse of 1 foot in, 1 foot out the ring. It's to say that it was perfect timing. It was perfect timing the time that he fought Terrence Crawford, or he fought Errol Spence. You know, timing is everything in boxing, blase, blase. Let's just use that logic with Keith Thurman. You fought Manny Pacquiao, who was 40 years old at the time. You know what I'm saying? So whose timing was that when you fought Manny Pacquiao and got beat up? Because he was 40, but you got hurt to the body real bad. But if I can remember correctly, it was Henderson Lopez, if I remember correctly. You got hurt bad to the body in that fight. So Manny Pacquiao handpicked you out of the other possible opponents he could have fought. He could have picked Errol Spence. He could have picked Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford was actually chasing that fight. But he chose you because he thought him and Freddie Roach thought you was the weak link. Freddie Roach came out on plenty of occasions and said that he did not want Pacquiao to fight Terrence Crawford because Terrence Crawford was a bad style matchup for him. Long, rangy, speedy, fast twitchies, and defense first fighter with crack in both hands. Freddie Roach said those things. But when it came to Manny Pacquiao, who's 40 years old, fighting Keith Thurman off of getting hurt to the body by Lopez, he had no problem with that. So who problem was that? Let's talk about the time with Errol Spence again. Ugas beat the man that beat you. The reason why you had that belt, the reason why Pacquiao had that belt, because he beat you for that belt. Ugas beat him. Ugas beat the Pacquiao that beat you. And then Spence dominated that version of Ugas just the fight before he fought Terrence Crawford. So whose timing is it really? Come on. A lot of people like to say, you know, Errol Spence sit on the show for almost a year. You know what I'm saying? Both of them has said, both Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, both have said they've been negotiating for that fight, but the powers that be was in the way. And who was they using for a pawn to be in the way of that fight? It was none other than Keith Thurman. But then listen to what Keith Thurman said. I'll play it right here.
After the Barrios fight, I was all ready to fight you. You're the one who just doesn't want somebody to have a tune-up, shake off the dust, keep everything moving. You a stay busy fighter, kid. What do you got? 40 wins.
Who the hell? Why would Terrence Crawford or Errol Spence wait 8 months for you to have a tune-up instead of fighting each other for undisputed? Why would they allow PBC to put you as a pawn in the pawn play? Just for you to have another tune-up. You had a tune-up against your Mario Barrios fights would have been your tune-up. That was almost 2 years ago. So you sat on the shelf and then you weren't looking for another tune-up? Come on, bro. Keith Thurman, in closing, man. Keith Thurman, I think he's trying to talk his way into a fight. I think that he's seen how the chatter of Terrence Crawford ain't fight nobody got under Terrence Crawford's skin. He's seen how Derrick James was saying it. So he's trying to keep that narrative alive just to make himself look better, make himself look more of a viable option for Terrence Crawford. But it's not going to work. The same way he talked himself out of an Errol Spence fight back in the day, in which why Errol Spence said he will never get the fight, is the same way he talked himself out of a Terrence Crawford fight. Now Terrence Crawford is saying the same thing, that I will never fight you because you talk too fucking much. You talk too much. You talk more than you fight. You talk more than you fight. So now what's going to wind up happening to you, especially if Terrence Crawford or Errol Spence sign that paperwork saying they can no longer make 147, what's going to wind up happening to you, either you're going to follow them at 154 and you're going to get criticized for it, or you're going to try to fight the up-and-comers at 147, which happen to be Boots Ennis. I don't want to see you wanting to do that fight. But knowing who you are, knowing who you is, I really believe that Keith Thurman will fight somebody, probably fight somebody like Avenesian or somebody like that. You know, somebody who has ties to Terrence Crawford because he just fought him a year ago. Has ties to him. It's kind of a warm-up for him, but not really a warm-up. It's a tough fight for him. It's a tough warm-up for him. Tough fill-up fight. And then he'll probably either sit on the shelf for another whole year, or he'll go in there and try to fight a Boots Ennis. Because to be honest with you, I think I really believe Terrence Crawford at his word when he said he'd never fight you. I think you talk your way out of that fight. Or you can try to move up to 160 and try to chase Danny Garcia. Because I heard Danny Garcia versus Lara at 160 for the belt was their next fight. So maybe you try to fight the winner of them two at 160. Good luck with that. But yeah, in closing, man, I hope you guys enjoyed our show, man. Like I said, I apologize for being so long from away from you guys, man. I'm going to do better. But, you know, daddy duty calls, of course. But with that being said, man, this is most definitely your favorite channel, man. Hit the like, subscribe button. Let me know in the comment what you thought about this video. But with that being said, peace. You just got chin check, baby.
Chin tucked boxing, baby.